Hi everybody, I am going to compare the MISTI stamping tool. This is the most incredible stamping tool invented, to the Hampton Art Stamp Perfect tool. Now I bought my MISTI, which is this pink one, about 2 years ago. And this stamping tool did cost me $60, and that was with shipping. And it didn't come with any extras. But now there's a smaller version, and the price is a little bit cheaper, and you get the magnets and you get some grid paper, and I believe maybe some stamp cleaner with it if I remember correctly. But this MISTI is, the outside is 8 by 10, and this Stamp Perfect tool is 7 by 9, just so you know. Oops, magnet. And I'm going to show you some differences here because they look very similar. The MISTI, this is the lid. This lid is nice and thick. And on the Stamp Perfect, it's just a tad bit thinner. Can you see that? Not really, but you'll have to take my word for it. But it's just a tad bit thinner. And let's see, the Stamp Perfect is basically constructed in the same way as the MISTI. It's got this metal square right here, and it's got grids on it, and your magnets can stick to that. And then it's got a foam piece for if you have a thinner stamp, which would basically be your clear stamps. And then the MISTI does have a foam pad, and now this is, mind you, I use this every day. But it's also got the foam pad, and I did, this is grid paper, but I laminated mine, and then I can wipe it clean. And it does have this metal bottom with smaller grid squares, and I have one magnet. But this didn't come with magnets. That happens to be a magnet I had, but it didn't come with magnets. And then there's the cover. And I'm going to show you how these work. And these are, I believe, is one of my most used stamping tool that I have. And I open the lid, and I'm going to do a clear stamp first. So I need a magnet that holds it in place. But I just put the cardstock down here, and then I have the magnet, and I'm going to use this stamp from Little Acres Creations. I'm going to use the bear so you can see how it. And then I'm just going to put the bear where I want him. I'm going to close the lid, and then I'm going to pick it up, and the bear is on the lid. Excuse me. And then I am going to ink it up. And then I'm going to close the lid. And I just give it a little press. And I'll lift it up. And there, the bear is perfectly stamped. And now if I want to do like a thicker stamp, like a red rubber stamp, whoops, I take out the foam. And then again, I use the magnets. And I put washi on the magnets because if they get close, they do stick together, and so with the washi, it's easier to pull them apart, and plus it's just easier to pick up the magnet. And I'm going to use a red rubber stamp from Unity, and this is an otter stamp. And because this is thicker, I don't need that foam in there. And again, I'm going to put it down, I'm going to close my lid. And if you're right-handed, you have the lid on your right-hand side, and I'll show you why in just a minute. And then I'm going to ink up this cute little otter. I'm running out of room on my table. Then I'm just going to stamp it right next to that cute little bear. And this is really invaluable when you have layering stamps. This works fantastic. And there we go, the otter is stamped. And like, let's say like the tail didn't stamp well, I can redo it. I'll show you in a minute. There's otter. Let's pretend, here, let's just use the back side. And I'm just going to use the Unity stamp. Let me peel the bear off here. I'll see if I can demonstrate here. I'm going to close this. And let's say, I'm just going to ink it up. I'm going to miss part of it. Close it. And then, oh shoot, it didn't stamp well right here. So what you do is you can just leave it in there. And then you just re-ink it. Don't move anything. If you move it like the paper or the stamp, it won't work. And then I'm just going to close it. So what would have been a wasted image is now a usable image. But the reason, let me move this back a little bit. The reason you want to have your lid, because I see people, if you're right-handed, because I see people, you know, like opening it like a book. But when you do that, if I have this here and I'm going to stamp that otter and I'm reaching over, it's just ergonomically not correct. And if you happen to hit this and shift it with your arm, you know, if you're going in and then you shift it, you can't re-stamp it because it'll be out of position. But so that's why if you're right-handed, you have the door on the right-hand side. And I've also seen people use it this way, and sometimes you have to because you want to get a sentiment straight or something, but then you got a further reach, and so it's just easier if you have the door on the right-hand side. And you know, the MISTI works the exact same way. You put the foam in there. Whoops. I'm not doing very good. You leave the foam in there if you're doing a clear stamp, and if you're doing a red rubber stamp, you take the foam out. But I did notice that the door of the Stamp Perfect is a little bit thinner, and I can feel it too. Like when I push, the MISTI doesn't have as much give. This one has a lot of give, so that'll be interesting to see if hopefully it withstands, you know, being pushed on and stuff without warping or anything. But anywho, that is my Stamp Perfect tool, and compared with the MISTI tool. So Stamp Perfect, and the MISTI tool. Thanks for watching. Bye.